Good morning. Well, Form 1120S checklist. We put together a checklist that it is a very great checklist to have in your business binder. And if you have an S Corp or an L.L.C. tax as an S Corp, then you'll file Form 1120S. And as we are in the middle of filing that form, I thought it would be a good idea to have a checklist that just allow us to track our business income and expenses throughout the year in a way that we will be able to to have the data we need to be able to file tax return at the beginning of the following year. So if you have an S Corp or an L.L.C. tax as an S Corp, it could be a good checklist for you. So I can just read the checklist. If you think you are interested, you'll be able to find it on our website, liberdownload.com. Let me plug the things. Okay, so with the checklist, what is that checklist? It just reminds you of the different type of expenses you might have, the different type of revenue you might have in your business, and how you should be tracking it. It's not teaching you how to file your return. It's just reminding you of the way you should be tracking your business activities. So you'll need to reconcile your bank account with your journal entry. So that's something that's very good to do on a regular basis, like monthly basis, if you can. And if you have like one entry journal where you record everything that goes and out of your bank account, it's good to check your bank account on a monthly basis to make sure your journal entry, the balance is matching your bank account. So it is a data that you will need at the end. So check all your sales have been recorded. So when you sell physical products, you might want to record those on a regular basis. If you don't sell on a daily basis, you can try monthly entry to see if that works for you. But if you sell on a daily basis, maybe daily entry to your daily entry might be a better idea. So you can try both or weekly entry instead of monthly entry. Weekly entry might works for your case. So you want to see what works for you, but just make sure all your sales are registered, are recorded. So total asset, you'll need your total assets, your business total assets. So if you need if you need to complete item F of Form 1120S, is not even an option for you. You have to enter total assets on item F on the first page of Form 1120S. So you will need your total assets there. So you might want to track it, and that will require your bank, your cash you have at the bank. So cash in the business account, capital contributions by shareholders or partners, profit or loss generated, track distribution to shareholders other than the compensation to officers. So you need those information to be able to calculate the total assets of your business. So Form 1125A, cost of goods sold. So that's a form that if you sell physical products, you'll have inventory. So your inventories will go on that form. You'll complete that form when you complete Form 1120S. So to be able to complete the cost of goods sold Form 1125A, the information you need to track is detailed is in the checklist as well, such as check if your products in inventory have been counted and the record is up to date. All product purchased for resale should be entered in inventory. Raw material used to produce finished good should be out of your inventory. And finished goods should be added to your inventory. Know the cost of your inventory at the beginning of the year, purchases throughout the year, and the cost of your inventory at the end of the year, and also the cost of goods sold. Knowing those information, you will be able to complete Form 1125A without issue. Revenues. So report your revenues by activities performed in your business. So if you conduct more than one business activities under your S corp or your L.L.C tax as an S corp, it might be a good idea to track those revenues by activities. Let's say you sell physical product and then you provide services or coaches or consulting. So you might want to track how much you are making under each one of those activities. And also even under physical products, if you have manufacturing or production, and then you have resale, and you have print on demand, for instance, you might want to track those sub activities under the main activity as well, so that you can tie each one of them to the expenses they incurred. So you might need that when you are attaching information to your Form 1120S, or when you are completing Schedule K1, you will need to detail each one of the activities under your business that generates the profit or the loss, so that your partners will know what passive loss they should what loss they should claim on their 1040 as a native loss against their active income, like from job, for instance. So under that revenue, you'll have interest earned, royalty income. So if you have income from royalty, income from interest, and income from selling products, is this a very good idea to have them break down, because income from physical product goes on page 1 of Form 1120S, while income from interest and royalty goes on Schedule K directly. And on Schedule K, the loss or profit from page 1 of Form 1120S will go on line 1 of Schedule K. And then the interest income, probably from bank or other source of, wherever you get that income, interest income from, and royalty income will go on Schedule K straightly. So it's good to track them, and then track the expenses they generated as well, because expenses related to royalty income will go on Schedule K, and expenses related to physical products, the trade or business, will go on page 1 to calculate the profit or loss of your trade or business. And also, if you provide services, that's your time you trade for money. Income and expense for providing services will go on page 1. That's a trade. So we have expense summary. So you need to have expense summary, and that will include expenses by activities. So track officers' compensation, track employees' salaries, record expenses by sources of revenue like interest expense, expense related to royalty. So to be able to complete Form 1120S page 1 deduction section and Schedule K deduction section, it is good to have your expenses summary. Summary does not mean just one number, but the total of the year, but breaking down by activities. So depreciation spreadsheet. If you have a business, chances are you will have depreciable assets like office table, office chair, or shelves unit to store your product if you sell physical products. So those are depreciable items, and you have to depreciate them. You can claim Section 179 to expense them all. I don't do that, but sometimes it might be advisable. If you have a lot of profit, you wanted to decrease your taxable profit, you can go for that. But just make sure you track your business assets so that you use them for the period you're supposed to depreciate them. Otherwise, if you take them out early after claiming the full amount the first year, you claim electing Section 179 deduction, then the difference from the year you took it out, the early year, and the year you should have depreciated, the difference will be a recapture. So you have to now calculate the depreciation you will have taken for the year you use it compared to the year you'll calculate the depreciation for the year you'll have used it, and then you'll compare it to what you took out, and the difference is an income you have to add back to your business income by filing another form for the 797. So when you are claiming those Section 179 Section 179, for instance, is great. But if you don't keep your end of the bargain, then you have another work for yourself. So if you're filing your own business tax return, then you want to think well about how you are treating your business so that you don't create extra work, necessary work for yourself later. Trying to take advantage of those tax, I don't know, should I say bonus? Well, it is very it is interesting, but you have to think if it's very good for your business. It's not because you can do it that you should do it. So, and if you have to go to a professional to file your return for you just because you have two extra forms to add it, so you don't know how to complete them, then you'll ask yourself, the 500, 700 you'll pay to a professional to file your return, is it worth the benefit of taking that early deduction rather than depreciating your assets for the full time frame? So think about all those things before you make your business decisions. So if you are going to depreciate the traditional, the regular way, then you'll need the depreciation spreadsheet. We are selling one at labordownload.com. You can check it out. But if you have a software, an accounting software that calculates depreciation for you, then you won't need a spreadsheet. But just keep in mind that you will need a depreciation. So I'm just going to read what is in the checklist for you to see if you like it or not. So the depreciation record itself is helpful to complete Form 4562, depreciation and amortization when required. So for an L.L.C. is required the first year you place the asset in service, or if you are claiming Section 179 on something, on an asset, you'll complete that form as well. So it's required to complete line 14, page 1, form 1120S. So page 1, 1120S, line 14 has depreciation. Whether you are completing form 4562 or not, your depreciation for assets you place in the business prior years will go on line 14. So having a spreadsheet that track how you depreciated the item, the asset that you placed in service maybe 5 years ago, having a spreadsheet that track the depreciation by year for all the year you need to depreciate that item is very helpful. Every year that you need to file tax return, you pull that spreadsheet, you find the depreciation deduction for that year, and that's the amount that will go on your business tax return, including the assets you place in service, for the tax return year, for instance. So yeah, and so for new asset placed in service during the tax year, record them to be able to complete Form 4562, the dates of purchase, the date placed in service, the purchase cost should be recorded. Find the depreciation rate to use based on the recovery period, the depreciation method, and the convention chosen. So those should go on your depreciation spreadsheet if you are calculating the depreciation. You don't have to calculate the depreciation by hand. There is IRS rate that you should use. And if the basis is not changing, that is that rate that you should use. But putting the information in the spreadsheet and put the rates, the spreadsheet will calculate the depreciation deduction for you. That's the one we have on Libra download for sale. But you will put your information in it and the rates in it. And we have tutorials on how to depreciate an asset and how to find the rate. So you'll be able to do that. So for all assets, have in your record depreciation deduction for asset placed in service in prior years. So having those, and you'll be able to depreciate your assets without forgetting that deduction. You have assets to depreciate. IRS allows you to depreciate them. That's how you claim their costs. You just don't claim the full cost the year you purchase it, unless you are electing section 179. So you have to claim the cost a little bit at a time for the time frame they think you'll be able to use the assets. So don't forget to depreciate your assets. Claim that deduction that is entitled to your business. So officers' compensation. So record salaries. Record of salary paid to shareholder working in your business. To claim that on line 7 of Form 1120S page 1. So we have 3 pages for the checklist, and we'll talk about that later. So you have Form 940, Form 941, or Form 944. Depending on your business, you might need to file 2 of those 3. So track your business share of employment taxes paid to be able to deduct them. So record unemployment tax paid. That will go on Form 940, further tax return. Employer share of Social Security paid, employer share of Medicare paid. So that will go on Form 944 or Form 941, depending on what IRS requires you to use. Employee reimbursement expenses. So deduction claim on line 19, page 1 of Form 1120S is required. So it is a good record. Deduction claim on line 19, page 1 of Form 1120S, and require a good record and filing. So but anyway, so track business use of your car. So I'm listing expenses that could be considered as, or that you can put under employer reimbursed expenses. So you have business use of your car. If you use your car for business, your personal car for business, you need to track the mileage. So that's what that means. Track business use of your car. Record your home office space rent. Any business expenses reimbursed to shareholders that work in your business and use their own money to make those expenses. So if you track them all, you'll be able to to include them under employee reimbursed expenses, and they'll go on line 19 of page 1, Form 1120S. But then you have to add an attachment to your form, describe every single type of deduction. Doesn't mean under employee reimbursed expenses you have to detail what you put there, but you'll have employee reimbursed expense and put the amount, and then you'll have any other expenses that you added to that line 19, like office supplies, shipping costs, things like that. So Form 1099. Issue Form 1099 if you pay CC $100 or more to contractor or lawyers to be able to deduct them without being penalized. So track those incomes you make to contractors and your attorney as well. Track your time. How many hours will you work in your business? It's very important. If you ever need it, because you might, once you reach a threshold income of revenue in your business, you might be required to complete Form 1125E, and that is about officers in the business, how many hours they work and their compensation, so that IRS can see if they are getting paid for their time, or the profit in your business that you are distributing, you are allocating to them as a distribution, should be salaries instead. So track your time. That's one. Second, it allows you to know how you are spending your time in your business as well. So to be able to say that you materially participate in your business, it is good to track your time, to have a record for yourself and a record in case and not it. So let's talk about the spreadsheet. It is 3 pages. 3 pages. It comes with a code to keep you motivated, and the letters are spaced out in a way to make the checklist easy to read. We have the first version as black and white, but if you use a color printer to print it, I believe the titles, the subtitles will be in blue. And we have them all numbered. The different things we talk about, and you'll be able to find it at librdownload.com, and it is instant download. So the margin are wide enough for you to punch a hole for 3 punch hole binder if you have that type of binder for your business, and you won't punch the content, so you have enough space left and right, and it is easy to read. The font is easy to read, and it is not too bold, so it's light and easy on the eyes, and it just reminds you, it's just a reminder of things you should be doing during the year. It's not at the end of the year that you will get your finances ready for tax. Have things in order during the year, and then record your transactions, your business activities throughout the year. Following the checklist will allow you not to be stressful during tax season and file your tax on time. Or if you hire a professional to file your tax for you, you know that you are giving the professional the right deductions and the right incomes to report on your tax. You back up you can be behind your numbers, and when you get audited, you have the record you need to support your deductions, and you know that you are not leaving any deduction, you are not forgetting any deduction. You are claiming what you need to claim, and you are reporting what you need to report. So that's what the checklist is about, and it is for S Corp. It is if you are going to file Form 1120S. It is a checklist to be able to keep you on track. Thank you so much for your time. We are thinking about having a laminated version and having a print version. So they will be at librlabel.com, where we sell custom apparels and stationaries. So we'll be able to laminate it, and we'll have paper prints as well if you don't like plastic, so that you punch holes. If you don't have you don't want to print it at home, yeah, you can purchase the print version, and then and we will have the laminated version as well. You can choose from, or you can just purchase the digital download and print it out yourself. And the digital download, you can print, if you have color paper, you can print it on any color paper you want, on any thickness of paper that you want, and have it in your binder. You could also add it to a sheet for your binder so that it's constantly well protected. But if you prefer the laminated version, you can purchase it at librlabel.com, and it will be able to last longer in your binder as well. So thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiavi Ojune Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting LLC YouTube channel, Liberman Consulting LLC podcast, and ninassoap.com, our ninassoap.com, our blog. So we do have our online store, liberdownload.com, where the checklist can be found. We have liberlabel.com for custom apparels and stationery, where the paper print version will be found for the checklist. And we have natural product store, ninassoap.com for natural products. We do have liberoutlets.com for resale products. Thank you so much, you all that commented on our channel. We thank you very much for all that subscribe as well. Thank you so much for watching our videos.